Hi, this is Joe again with another review. For the sake of this video, I'm going to review the 1989 film Pet Cemetery, starring Denise Crosby and Fred Gwynne for the Munsters. Of course, this movie, previously I believe I reviewed the remake Pet Cemetery, now reviewing the original film. And since of course we now in finally in the month of October in 2020, figured okay, do a movie of a horror film. And of course, this is the original one, and this one is, even though I said the remake is boring as hell, this movie is about like 1,000 times better. Even though it's the same, not only based on the same stories, it didn't really have all the main changes. Like one, which we're going to get into. But this movie is based on a Stephen King novel of the same name, and of course, this movie also reviews made a sequel out of this movie, which I do a separate review on. So look for what comes up. So, the original Pet Cemetery is about a family who moves to Maine, and the father of the husband is actually a doctor who gets a new job in this as a university doctor in a small town. And of course, any of the serious cases go on to the regular hospital instead. Where he actually runs a clinic in a university. And his wife is played by Denise Crosby, like I mentioned earlier, who her other role that she's known for is, of course, playing Lieutenant Tasha Yar on Star Trek Next Generation. So this is about like a year after she left that show. Her character was killed off in that show. Get used to that, folks, because, spoiler, that's what happens to her in this movie, which we're going to eventually get into. For this so what happened is they moved in a small town, and near behind the house that they move into is a path to a small, little out of the way pet cemetery where pets were buried. And of course, this movie, I should mention, is spelled with an S instead of a C for cemetery. Another spelling mistake, but they intentionally misspelled the word cemetery in this film, as well as the original story. Well, what happened is Fred Gwynne, who plays the neighbor across the street, tells him that there's this other cemetery over the hill, and which is like used to be an old Indian burial ground. And if anything gets buried in there, whoever is buried in there comes back to life, which is a real crazy, spooky thing. So what happens is that the family cat dies, and the daughter and I should say the doctor here has two kids, one boy, one girl, and the girl is worried about her cat, and the family goes away for the wife, Denise Crosby, and the two kids go away to for Thanksgiving weekend. The father stays there, and the cat gets run over by a car. So Fred Gwynne suggests, instead of burying him in the Pet Cemetery, let's bury him in this other place. So go back to live, and so that your daughter won't get traumatized and learn about death too early. So the kid won't be traumatized. Traumatized. The kid will be traumatized. The cat died. So they bury him, and within 24 hours, the kid, not even 24 hours, like 12 hours, by midnight, the cat was, returned to life. And it changed his behavior. It's completely, now it's like a devil cat, completely evil cat. It goes crazy. So scratches the husband's face, and then of course goes crazy and smells like it's dead because the cat is dead. It's just there's been this. It's kind of like the Frankenstein monster. It doesn't have a heartbeat because it's dead. So, but there are all these crazy things, to attack somebody, and there are all this crazy stuff that's going on. While that's happening, the doctor's son was tragically killed but got run over by a car. But in the remake, starring Jason Clarke, as the doctor, the daughter gets killed in the remake. There's the only change from the remake to the original film is that they changed who gets killed. between the doctor's two kids. They get married because the girl is supposed to be the older child, so it's not easier for the older child to act evil than the younger child, I guess. But in the original story, the original novel, plus the book, was the son who dies. So the father is so dramatized that, or the father is, they digs out his son and buries them in the Indian burial ground, and of course the son comes back to life, and of course it's an evil, just evil. And what happens is that the son goes over to the neighbor, Fred Gwynne, who plays the neighbor. Of course, his most famous role is, of course, playing in Herman Munster in the 1960s show The Munsters, and plays the judge in My Cousin Vinny, the two most famous roles, and in the old show Call 54, Where Are You? And that's the shows that or the roles that Fred Gwynne is most famous for. Anyway, the kid goes over to Fred Gwynne's house, kills him, and then attempts to kill, the mother, Denise Crosby, who was smoking hot in this movie. She's even hotter here than she was in Star Trek, believe it or not. And he kills her. Spoiler. And attempts to kill the husband. And when the husband turns out to be, okay, I think he ends up okay. Then when the very last scene, you see the wife attempting to kill, picks up a knife, attempts to stab the husband, and then that's where the movie cuts off, and you're at the end. But this movie is a lot scarier, and you do feel the suspense and the tension in this movie. And this is the time in the Stephen King movies, when the movies were getting better and better and better. And of course, the best one that came out, even though I never seen it, was the 1990 movie Misery. They had Academy Award nominations, and Kathy Bates won the Oscar for Best Actress for that role. But this is when the time when the movies are starting getting a little bit better. Because most of the 80s, when the Stephen King movie would come out, the movies suck. Parents would say, "Oh, this movie sucked because the remake was so boring," and it was. It padded it out. They stretched the story out even longer in the remake. But this one, because it's only like an hour and a half, an hour and 35 minutes long, so it's not very long. So it's a little bit faster paced than the crappy remake that came out. But that movie is not too bad. And of course, you can see Fred Gwynne and of course Denise Crosby that I mentioned. Seeing her in any role, and it's not Star Trek related, it's good to see her in any role because hey, this girl could act. Not only is he smoking hot to look at, but also she could act. This girl could act. Of course, her grandfather was, of course, Bing Crosby, so it's in her genes a little bit. So that's my review of the original Pet Sematary movie. Please click on the video, please rate it, please subscribe to my channel, please forward this video on your Facebook pages. You check out all my videos on my YouTube channel at RowdyC.com, so WDY, and that's C.com. That's a homepage of Rowdy Reviewer. For listening more, please check out all of his videos on his website. Thanks for watching. Catch you next time.